Grow My Cleaning Company teaches owners of cleaning companies just like you how to grow your company, make more money, and finally take charge of your financial future and your life. This podcast is about automating and creating systems that give you time and money freedom so you can grow like crazy without losing control. Since this is totally free, if you're getting tons of value, want to support us and make sure that you get more of the good stuff, subscribe, rate, and review to this podcast today. Now, on to the show. Hey, Cleaning Nation, Mike Campion and Jackson Pinky Pinkman. He's got a real last name, but it scares me because it's got too many vowels, so I just call him Pinky. And also, he's got a company called Pinky something, which I've been meaning to make fun of, but I want to do it publicly, obviously, as opposed to one-on-one. Where's the fun in that? So let me tell you why Jackson's here with Grow My Cleaning Company and why he's here with you guys live right now, and then we'll get this party started. So actually, I don't want to tell you that now. We'll just say Jackson runs ads for us, which is the case. Facebook ads, to be specific. And I actually want to ask you about your paid ad, if you only know Facebook or if you know other things. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, so that said, the reason he's here today is we get a lot of questions about paid traffic. Within our program, we teach a lot of what to say, how to say it, where to say it, how to get paid, how to communicate it, all this sort of stuff, how to build funnels and all sorts of stuff. But there's really two parts to kind of getting customers. One is traffic and one is conversion. We focus on conversion. It's really important, right? Because it drives me nuts when people are like, oh, I tried Facebook, Google ads, whatever paid traffic, and it didn't work. And we start asking questions like, how did it work? Well, I spent $1,000 to send people to my website and nobody bought anything. And I go, well, what's your website? And we go to their website and it's just like, Mike's Cleaning. We're the best at cleaning. Click now to book a free consult. Like, or some nonsense thing that was interested in. I'm like, well, of course you had a terrible conversion process. That it wasn't a traffic problem, it was a conversion problem. So all that to say, Jackson is a big fat rock star when it comes to traffic. So we're going to talk mostly about that, and then we'll touch on conversion because they're kind of here, they kind of connect. But we're focused mostly on traffic, how to get it. There's really two ways, organic or paid. Organic is awesome because you don't have to pay for it and you can do stuff like this and it'll build traffic forever. But it sucks because it can take a long time to spool up and it's hard to scale. Whereas paid, you can be like, hey, if this worked for a nickel, how about for $5? If it works for $5, how about $50,000? And it scales really nicely. That said, hey, Nick, hey, Annie, hey, Evie Lynn, hey, Jason, good to see you. We got the whole team in the house. So, before I go forward, what do you have to say for yourself, Jackson? Comments, questions, rude remarks, corrections on anything I've said?
Well, I don't know about the making fun of my business name, Pink Marketing.
Not cool.
That's my last name. I've been going, it's too hard to say Pinkoski, so I just go by, Pink or Pinko sometimes. But,
I shall forever now call you Pinko. That is much better. Jackson's a fine name. Pinkowski's a fine name, but Pinko is the key to the whole operation. So welcome. All right, so let's just kind of go backward. And the goal, just so you guys know, for any of that tuned in for unlimited traffic for your cleaning company, we're going to talk about that, I promise. But I want to kind of work up to there from back. So Jackson, just give me your thoughts. Let's do that, because Jackson came from an agency where, if I'm not mistaken, you ran millions of dollars of ad spend through Facebook every month, correct?
Yep, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. Perfect. So love that. And why don't you, from your perspective, because I know my perspective, but I'm dying that you're kind of like an insider traffic guy. What's your perspective on, and have you done paid traffic outside of Facebook and Instagram, or has it all been Facebook and Instagram?
Primarily Facebook, Instagram, a lot of Google. I've done previously LinkedIn as well. And then I kind of dipped my toe in the new market that is TikTok that's up and coming. But yeah, primarily Facebook, Instagram, Google, the big boys for sure.
All right. So I think we might have to have a conversation, and we'll have Jackson on again because he's now part of the team. So next time we will talk TikTok and LinkedIn and AdWords, kind of all the, because right now I feel like, and you guys can tell me what you think, but I feel like Facebook's the big 600-pound gorilla on the street. Like LinkedIn hasn't really figured it out. Twitter's fine, but not for ads. It's tough. Instagram's obviously big. They're owned by Facebook. So Facebook, Instagram, you run the ads on the same platform. TikTok, I'm hearing all these murmuring. I know for a second, like Snapchat was like a big thing, and I haven't heard anything about that. So we'll do a whole episode on non-Facebook traffic. But how about for today? Well, how about this? Why Facebook? Because what you predominantly do for us and for our clients is Facebook. So why is that? Why not any of the other platforms we've mentioned?
Facebook is just a massive beast. When you think about it, when you actually look at to what like Facebook touches and what they own. I mean, they own Instagram. They own.
Never heard of it. Can you? We're live on Instagram, by the way, as we speak. Go ahead, buddy.
But they just their market reach is bar none some of the farthest reaches that you could possibly do, and the possibilities for targeting, for the types of ads you can put out there, and the types of messaging you can get across. It's really one of the better platforms, and it's pretty. I mean, it has its simplistic areas that allows for people to jump in and get started on it.
So, and I'll give you my 2 cents. And obviously, so I always want to give background because, Jackson's, I think, a little biased towards Facebook ads. It's like, yeah, I spent millions of dollars on it. Of course I'm biased. Let me tell you, I am also biased, and I never made my living running Facebook ads. But we test the crap out of stuff, and I love Facebook. And the reason I love it, and I think you guys should love it, is... Well, first of all, I'll give my reason. I'm going to give you the next question so you can think about it. What about? Don't answer yet. What about the people that say my people aren't on Facebook? And feel free in the chat to go. But Mike, you don't understand. My people aren't on Facebook. So I hear that. So owners of cleaning companies who say janitorial or commercial, right? My people aren't on Facebook. So we'll come back to that. The reason I like it is before, if I wanted to buy a Super Bowl ad, it was $2 million for 30 seconds. I don't know what they're going for, but they ain't cheap, right? And the reason is because they're going to get 100. I'm completely making up numbers. They're going to get millions of eyeballs on that thing. The problem is if I sell cleaning services in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Lisa Hawthorne on the chat. Hold on, let me put her chat up there so you guys know I'm not making that up. If I'm selling cleaning services in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, I still got to pay the $1 million for all the millions of eyeballs all over the world, and it didn't make any sense. So up until then, it's like, well, I could do the yellow pages. I could do direct mail. I could do stuff like that. True. Absolutely true. But if I said, well, really, and we'll just do residential for now. Really, I only want to sell to people that own their home. And I found that if their home's less than 2,000 square feet, they're not going to get cleaning. And I found if their household income's under $150,000, they're probably not going to get cleaning. And I found if they don't have kids, both of them work at home, have a good credit score, and American Express, and are between 35 and 42 years of age, those are the people I found typically sign up for me. Where do I go to advertise to those people? The answer until now is fair, like in your dream, like never. Well, you go anywhere if you're willing to. The Super Bowl, we'll get those, but you have to pay for all the other eyeballs you don't want. Content marketing, doing podcast stuff like this can help, but Facebook, I believe, and tell me if I listed off any criterion they can't do, but I believe Facebook can literally define audiences based on every single criterion I just made up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so as a marketer, as a consumer, I'm a little like, that's too much information for Facebook to know about me. I'm not really comfortable with that. As a marketer, I'm like, yes, this is excellent. I would like all of those things. All right, so Jackson, now we know why Facebook's awesome, but my people aren't on Facebook. I have a commercial cleaning company in Chicago, and my people aren't on Facebook. Jared or Jackson, tell me. Oh, we have 2 Facebook guys, by the way, Jared and Jackson. So if I call Pinko Jared, it's because I'm not that bright. So what say you, my friend, to people that say their people aren't on Facebook?
Everybody's on Facebook.
So true.
I mean, it's hard to. I mean, there are some diehard people that don't have Facebook accounts or haven't made a Facebook account, but at this point in time, Facebook, because it's so overarching, there are even other areas where you can advertise within Facebook that isn't directly on the Facebook.com. So you can tap into what they call their audience network, which is essentially like anybody that has an associated program with Facebook, an app, a website, anything like that, your ad can show up on there. So you'll be able to still hit those people, even though they might not necessarily be on Facebook, or as much as you think they aren't. They're there. They're there in some shape or form. You can find them.
So the truth of the matter is, you can go, my Uncle Jerry is my perfect client, and he's not on Facebook. That very well may be the truth. But your perfect client isn't your Uncle Jerry. It's 60 to 70-year-old men in this zip code that make this much money, that do X, Y, and Z. And that group of people, yes, your Uncle Jerry is not on it. And maybe another slice of 5, 10, maybe even 50% may not be on it. But you knucklehead, that means 99 to 50% are on it, and you can call them out almost by name, by their age, by their marital status, by their credit score, for crying out loud. So don't be fooled when you're like, well, I'm not on Facebook. I fell for that on Instagram, by the way. Still don't understand what that platform does. And I said I was live. I'm not. We're not smart enough to figure out how to get a guest on Instagram live, and so we're so stupid. So big fat lie on being live on Instagram. Still don't understand it. We've got a bunch of followers. People seem to like it. Dumb for me to be like, people are on Instagram. No, I'm not on Instagram. Who cares what I don't get a vote. All right. So now let's get into the suck part of Facebook. I get lots and lots of stories of, I'll tell you my problems that I see, and you can tell me if you got a solution. If you're like, yeah, I guess it just sucks. There's kind of two kinds of Facebook. One is a guy or gal that can I can only afford $5-10 a month, and we're going to tell you how to have an unlimited marketing budget. I won't forget, I promise. I can only spend $5 a day, $10 a day, and I did it, and I wasted my money. Or I can spend like $1,000 a day or $1,500 a day, but I'm afraid to hire someone that knows what they're doing. Because the problem is, you got to know what you're doing when it comes to that. Well, I'll let Jackson go. But what's the difference between? Because for me, and again, we cheat because we have 2 full-time Facebook people because we're super, super blessed. Not cheap, by the way. Even though he's got a ridiculous Pinko name, you still have to pay him like American dollars. It's a pain in the ass, frankly. Every couple of weeks, not just once, over and over. It's ridiculous what's going on in this country. We have to pay people, and then I have 2 people I have to pay twice. I don't just pay one time. They can split it up amongst themselves. They each want their own individual money. It's ridiculous, with their own name on it and everything. Okay, so assume we're not in that situation, and you're in the I could do it myself. Jessica says, "Hi, boys." I don't know why that makes me laugh, but she probably didn't say it in that ridiculous voice, but that's how I heard it. Jessica, hey, boys. Good to see you. And then Lisa's in the house. All right. So you're a small cleaning company. Maybe your budget is and we're talking about having an unlimited budget. Maybe your budget's $500 a month. Maybe I could do 1,000, maybe. But then if I do 1,000, I can't afford someone to run the ads. And I'm afraid I've run the ads before, and then I got bit. Facebook took all my money. I didn't make anything. Give us the pros and cons to all of it. Oh, and Jessica said, I did say it like that. Freaking love Jessica. She's one of our next level members. You bring joy to my life, Jessica. You just make me smile, sister. Anyway, go ahead, Jackson.
So pros and cons. Man, there are a lot of both.
And keep it to 30 seconds if you could. No, don't.
So the pros of having a budget but not being able to hire people to do it for you. There are a lot of great learning resources out there, especially from Facebook itself. There are a lot of great groups on Facebook that help people run their ads and help do it effectively. But then also, a con is you always kind of have that in the back of your mind that I might spend this money and not really fully know what I'm doing. But then I always challenge that is kind of shift your mindset, because anytime you spend advertising dollars on Facebook, it's 98% of the time it's not a waste. You're going to be generating some data there, whether it be customer data, lead data, just engagement on your business page in its entirety. That's valuable.
Let me push back on that. You're going to be generating. What Pinko said is 98% of the time when you spend money on Facebook, that money won't be wasted. But you did a period. I'm going to do a comma. Comma, if you know what you're doing. So many people get valuable information, but they don't understand it's valuable and know how to use it, and then it becomes wasted. So again, please don't hear me trying to push you to hire a guy or not hire a guy. I just want you to go into it with, I don't want you to waste money. Whether you hire a guy, I don't want you to waste money on that, or a gal. Although most Facebook managers I know are dudes. Anyway, doesn't matter. Or you do it yourself. I don't want you to waste your money, right? And the problem is not like there's a right answer and a wrong answer. They can both cost you money through the teeth, and they can both make you make your business grow really, really fast. So really quick, just because I want to forget about it, let me tell you how you can have an unlimited traffic or budget for your cleaning company, and then we'll let Jackson kind of talk about how to make that happen. So first and foremost, you got to track. So many people, it drives me nuts when people are like, oh, I spent money. Facebook doesn't work. That always starts there. Okay, tell me. Sure, do tell. Well, I spent $1,000 on Facebook, and then we already talked about they don't have a conversion thing. But really what happens is they don't know how much they spent. They didn't know what the conversion is. They didn't know they just know anything, right? So they didn't have any data. And then when I go, did you pixel anyone? Did you do any retargeting? And Jackson will talk about all that stuff. They're like, huh? So what they meant was I did Facebook poorly and it didn't work. the way that you can have unlimited traffic for your cleaning company or unlimited budget for your cleaning company is once you have data knowing it costs me this much to acquire a customer, and here's my lifetime value. And let's just make it hard with residential because they have small lifetime value. Say an average client's $300 a month for you. Average client stays 2 years. It's about $7,000. Say it costs half of you to pay that. All right, we got $3,500 lifetime value. Say you're like, well, I could spend $200, right? Obviously, you could spend the whole $3,500, but then you won't make any money, and you'll have to pay the $3,500 today to make money later. So say I can spend $200. Once you've got a funnel, and traffic's half of that funnel, and conversion's the other half. Once you have a funnel that can convert strangers to clients for less than $200, we now have an unlimited budget, right? So that is how you do it. And Facebook is just an amazing. There's other ways to do it, right? You can do it in direct mail. You can do it with telemarketing. It's not like Facebook's the only way, but I hate to say it's the most scalable. That's for I'm sure. You can go from spending $10 a day to $100 a day to I think we're spending about $1,000 a day. Well, that's internally. Pinko here spends other people's money, and that's even more. All right, so that's how you make an unlimited budget. That said, Jackson, if you're gonna, whether you have an ad person do it or you do it, how do you make sure that you don't lose money? Even if it seems like you lose money, how can you still at least wring all the value out of the dollars you put into Facebook and Insta?
Well, you kind of hit it right in the head. Is just understand where that money's going and like what's coming out of it. So whether that be you put in $100 and you get 10 leads out of that, or you put in $100 and you get 1,000 new page likes on your business page, something along those lines. You want to make sure you fully understand what's coming through from the money you're spent, and then utilize that to its full potential. So you spend money, you've got that traffic that comes to your funnel or to your landing page. Now you have to take that traffic and utilize it, whether that be in your email sequences, in additional ads, additional offers that you can send them if they didn't sign up or book an appointment or anything along those lines. That's really how you wring out all the value out of what your Facebook ads are, because that traffic, that's half the battle, really.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, when we say, I forgot to leave, I left out a big one when I said you can pick men or women, age, credit score, zip code they live in, income they make, if they have an American Express card or not, kids, I think pets, maybe. Certainly you can see if they like, okay, pets. All this crazy data, you're like, how could I ever do? One extra sexy thing you can do? You can say anyone that's been to my website, anyone that's been to this specific page on my website where I made an offer, I can do a specific ad just to people that have made this offer. And by the way, Lisa says, how can I get in touch with some help for my business? I'm just going to keep this to the end. I'll do it now, and then I'll let Jackson finish. So we are right now, and Jackson's going to be on, right? We, just so you guys know, we hired, we've had Jared, not Pinko, be doing our internal Facebook ads. And a lot of you guys have seen him, right? You might be here off of a Facebook ad, right? And Jared's been doing a great job with that. With the program that we teach, we get lots and lots of results. But the one thing over and over people get, but they have a hard time kind of doing themselves, is doing the Facebook ads and actually getting the traffic profitably. Even though we teach it, everything that we know, we teach you guys how to do. It's the one thing that people get scared, right? Or they just know how to do it. They have the confidence, just they can't been able to unlock that. So we are doing a test program. I think we're only taking 10 or 9 more, because I think we're taking 9 or 10 off the look, into it, where Jackson, our full-time Facebook guy, will do ads for you. So we're really looking for a very specific person. We want to make sure, or a very specific group of people. We want to make sure that you guys have great results, because it's a test, and we want to make sure we get lots of testimonials and we can open up to the whole wide world. So if you email support@growmycleaningcompany.com, we can let you know if you're a good fit for that test program, and we can talk about, we'd have to talk about getting you in there, or if not, we'll still try and figure out how to go. So you can always go to growmycleaningcompany.com for all the resources, but for this particular test program, just email support@growmycleaningcompany.com. That goes right to Lindsay. She and I will talk about everything in the emails and figure out the best 10 to put in. All right. That said, so I guess the call to action, if you're like, holy crap, I want to hire a guy, but I don't have enough money for a whole guy, that's what we do with Jackson. All he does is owners of cleaning companies, right? So it's not, that's the other thing with, Jackson came from an agency. I'm sure it was a good agency. But he had to put on his, I'm making this up, I don't want to know any of his old clients, but I'm put on my selling t-shirt hat. Now I'm selling my coaching hat. Now I'm putting on my, whatever they're selling. He had to keep figuring that out. Now he has one hat, well, 2 hats, residential cleaning, commercial cleaning. Even those are kind of the same hat. yeah, anyway, so if you want us to help you with that, do that. For the rest of you guys, are like, I'm too scared, or Mike sucks, or Jackson's name is Pinko, for God's sakes. How would I trust that guy with my money? Don't be ridiculous. Just give a 30, 60 second. What's the best way if I want to dive into my own Jackson? How do I do it?
If you've never touched it before, use Facebook's. I think it's called Facebook Marketers Blueprint or Facebook's Blueprint. It's a full course, totally free. You can sit through it, you watch the videos, and at the end they give you a nice certification, and that gives you a great starting point for everything. I mean, when I first started this, that's what I used.
It's a great. No one's ever told me about that. Where if they just Google it, will they get?
Yeah, it's in Facebook Business. They have a lot of tools outside of just marketing. You know, they have a lot of great organic tools for you to use, all that good stuff. But the Facebook Blueprint for Marketers, I think, is its official title, something like that. That is the best course. It's like becoming Google AdWords certified if you've done that.
How long
so
does
it's
it
the
take
same type of thing.
Just
it depends how much time you have to put into it.
I don't think saying. Is it a 10-hour thing, a 100-hour thing? Like, what's the?
I think it took me a couple days.
Okay, so you could get it done in a couple days, and I'm assuming that was like 6 or 8 hours, like for real, full time.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple weeks if you wanted to pick away at it. If you just want to be insane and try and get it all done, you do it in 2 days. It's a great starting point. All right, I think we're about out of time. One thing, the biggest. I want to end on a bang. What's the biggest, if you could like save people money, right? What's the biggest no that people are going to go do? And you're like, no, let me save you money right now. Don't do X.
Don't do X.
Because I know there's a bunch I can think of. So I'm putting you on the spot.
I've seen this a lot, but if you're just starting out, don't go hire an agency, a big agency, and think they're going to save your business. Or I'm not saying your business is underwater or anything, but agencies are expensive, and you know, it's not, marketing is never guaranteed at all. So there's no magic wand. There's no fairy dust that's gonna, it's gonna work 100% of the time, anytime. So unless you've been established for a bit, you have good funnel set up already, good lead gen set up already. Agencies are really, they're to help automate. They're not to help, kickstart things, essentially.
So you said 2 things, and we're going over, but I don't care. This is good. The 2 things are important. No, they're really important. So one, I'm okay with agencies. We've used agency, and I feel much better having 2 guys in house, and I've loved it. But most folks don't have that kind of budget because, as you can imagine, Pinkos and Jareds aren't cheap. That said, really, it wasn't that I didn't hear Jackson saying don't go to agency. Don't go to agency thinking they're going to save your company. That's a terrible, terrible thing. The other thing you said that sounded a little down. I want to see if I can put a spin on it, but don't let me, if I'm incorrect, don't let me spin it too good. You said nothing's going to work 100% of the time, or all advertising is risky to a degree. And I agree with that 1,000%, guys, gals. That's probably, if I had to say what's the biggest way to lose money in advertising, and Facebook is certainly a piece of that, is do one thing, try it one time, put in a bunch of money, and then say that didn't work. So I would agree, nothing works all the time. If it did, we would just charge $1 billion and just teach everyone how to do that. But I will say, if you follow a process of taking poor advertising, split testing, and improving, I don't want to say you can make it work every time, but a good marketer should be able to make that work the vast majority of the time. Is that fair? Or am I being too Pollyanna?
No, you're way positive, right on that. I could have phrased mine better, but you're right. It's just like basically there's no smoking gun, but it's pretty. If you have a good process set up, you succeed far more times than you might find mistakes or fail, I should say.
And I would say the biggest failure is I tried fill in the blank. I'm trying to push on Facebook here. I tried X advertising. It didn't work. So now I'm doing advertising. We do the same thing on employees. I hired a guy once. He stole from me. He quit. He whatever. So now I just do it myself. The most expensive employee I ever had is the guy that breaks you. The most expensive advertising campaign you spend $1,000 that you feel went to the toilet, and then you quit advertising forever. The $1,000 wasn't expensive. The quitting advertising and giving up growing your business, that could have been $1 million mistake. All right, we're gonna have Jackson back. We're way over, but I can't talk too big. Now he's gonna want more money. He's gonna know how smart he is. Son of a. All right, adequate job, Jackson, at best. We're going to have him on more because he's got a lot to say, and I love having him. So appreciate you, Clean Nation. Talk soon. See you. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you're fired up, ready to grow, and want to see if you have what it takes to work with us at Grow My Cleaning Company, here's what I want you to do right now. Go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. That's growmycleaningcompany.com/talk to book an appointment to speak with me personally. I'm going to jump on the phone with you to get you crystal clear on where you are now, where you want to be, and how to get you there. Don't walk around in the dark any longer. If you are serious about growing your cleaning company, it's time to finally get the systems in place that you need to grow. We've helped hundreds of owners of cleaning companies not only grow their business and their personal freedom, but give back to their community as well. If that's what you're looking for, head over to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk and book a time to talk with me personally. I can't wait to get to know you and your business.